1973, first test. Great Britain on the left, Australia. Langland's the kick off, and away we go. And the Fendier noise. Hot good. Jan Atkinson. And this will be a real hard first quarter of an hour without any shadow of doubt, I believe. George Nichols. Forward, there's below, the one that could let go. Good chance, oh, beautiful opening. Chance for Sullivan. Sullivan got somebody inside. Oh, he's a forward pass. Paul Charlton came up when Sullivan might have been better going on his own. What an opening, what a chance for Great Britain. Charlton did well to come up, but he overran Sullivan. So this was a moment missed, however. This is a thought of thing I'll talk to Frank Boff about. Chances taken, no chances missed. And Sullivan, the captain, Wolfsman, get plenty of cheers. So what a good start for in this test match. George Nichols from Widnes. Great Britain in the white, on the left. Phil Lode made that chance. Now he's down inside, and they seem to be slipping on probably the November mist or something. Oh. And I think this is the first time that Australia have been in possession. Missed chance by Sullivan and Tommy Rodonicus. Arthur beats them. And there's the danger man, Bobby Fulton. Good footballer. 10 tries in 3.5 matches. Down inside. Ken Madison from Bob O'Reilly. Rodonicus. High tackle will still goes off. This fellow Fulton's going to be a trouble man for Great Britain, and a penalty against George Nichols for Neen on Fulton, and Billy Thompson rightly gives the penalty, and it will be a chance for Graham Langlands. I just think he's going to kick for 10. I don't think there's an awful lot of wind. So it's the first time they've been in the Great Britain 25 yards line, and a chance for a set move. Alwyn Walters starting it by playing the ball to Arthur Beetson. Bob McCarthy. Great Britain under pressure. Colin Cloud from Wigan. And the referee giving a penalty for Great Britain. Not very good. By the way, Ted Goodwin is playing on the left wing wearing the number 2 jersey, so don't get confused. That's for Australia. I saw them do that in the World Cup, so I was pretty well aware it might happen. George Nichols. The Australian pack is Australian team is about 4 stone heavier than a chance for David Topless, and a chance for Stevie Nash. Good break by Topless, taken by Paul Sate. A good tackle by Paul Sate. Brian Lockwood with big Phil Lowe, the strong one. Terry Clausen. And it's the 6th tackle. Terry Clausen, the oldest man on the Great Britain side. There he is, 33 years of age. The oldest man on the Australian side is Langlands, 32. Youngest is Topless at 23. And Starling at 20 for the Australians. Number 10 is blind side, Australia possession. Rodonicus, knock on, drop ball by Tim Pickup. who used to play for Blackpool. Had quite a career. He hitchhiked across America and eventually landed in England and became a rugby league star. Charlton getting down well. Is it a chance for Phil Lowe? Can Phil Lowe get there? Phil Lowe's going like mad. His 6 foot is in. There's a try. Well, this was the Somerset scrum Stevie Nash did to David Tomlis, who did well, did Topless, to get the pass in. Charlton came up and it was still all on and it's still got to be scored. Look how many Australians there are there. But then up goes big Phil Lowe. He went through Starling. Now it looked at this moment that he was going to be collared and he made a dive and he stumbled, but it was over, and what a good try. The man that the Australians were really very, very worried about. Great Britain 3, Australia 0, with a possible chance of 2 points. I've got David Watkins with me. As soon as he's kicked this or missed it, just asking for his view of that one. It's no goal, so it remains 3 points to 0. David Watkins, how did you feel of that one?
Well, a most excellent start. The game has been flowing from one end of the field to the other, and this fellow Lowe has most certainly lived up to his reputation as he's been regarded as the most dangerous runner in British football. The Australians have feared him, and my gosh, he sure is putting up a wonderful performance today.
Thank you, David Watkins, who played against the Australians in their first match, the hardest match that they had. 15 points to 12 for Salford, and it's Chang Langlands to push it well up. 3 points to 0. Good start for Great Britain. Paul Charlton, always very, very nervous before a match, Charlton, but he says, as soon as I get on the field, I then love it. Let's see how he's going to love it and enjoy it. Terry Clausen. The only way to move the ball about, and they're playing the right tactics. The ball lost. Chris Hesketh somehow lost it, and it's came back, but an offence committed. Australians in the dark jerseys on the right, putting on pressure, getting the ball and getting the man, and the referee giving a penalty, speaking to an Australian player, but giving a penalty for offside from the scrum by Steve Nash. Correct decision, and it's a chance for 2 points. First attempt. It kicks, and it is the post. Hard lines for that. But it would nearly could have been a try if it hadn't bounced just right for Great Britain. Below. Oh, and being worried by big Bob McCarthy. 2 big uns there together. This is a hard one. Those of you like hard rugby, there's a lot of skill too. Topless. This is his baptism into international football of this calibre. Went on the World Cup but didn't play. It might, it won't run. Ray Brannigan going outside, inside, outside. Goes past one. Then taken by Terry Clausen. Alwyn Walters. There are a lot of scrums, 3-2 in favour of the Kangaroos. And we're halfway through the first half, 20 gone, 22 go. Great Britain 3, just that one try by Lowe, but many near one. And this is the fellow who could get one. This is the fellow. Fulton is a good footballer. He's taking them on. He's taking Charlton on. He's still going. He's just gone into touch. What a run! Taken by John Atkinson and pushed out, but what a tremendous run by Fulton. What a good footballer this boy is. Lord Nichols lost the ball and a good tackle by Fulton. Radonicus. McCarthy. Oh, nice one, well taken. There's a chance for Brannigan, turning inside, turning out. Atkinson sticking near him. Brannigan, who nearly won the World Cup with a goal kick in Lyon. Australia putting on pressure. Passing well in the close setup. O'Reilly, Fulton, and the tackler Sullivan. Saved number 13. Referee bringing them back. That's bringing Great Britain back onside. O'Reilly trying to go through, duck under, and then get a little short pass in. Pick up. Advantage. Would have been offside. Britain in possession. Britain in white. Red, white and blue, in fact. Australia in their famous spinning goal target, trying to get away so he can run. The referee getting into it. Lockwood and Beatson were in, but the referee given a penalty, cannot let him get away to play the ball. And Billy Thompson won't stand any nonsense. Former soccer player, Terry Crossan in possession to kick. So Great Britain 3, Australia 0. Chris Hesketh. Well, Great Britain giving it some air. Dave Topless is doing quite well under this stormy scene, because it is not a scene where nerves can be troublesome. We've got to be really in at it, and young Topless has done very well so far. Ray Batten's number 13, Colin Clark number 9, 4-3, but they're spacing themselves well of the Australian, and it's amazing the amount of tackling such as O'Reilly is doing. A little short one, good bounce, wrong, all right. Good bounce right for Langland. Away he goes. Ken Madison. Good run. Former centre. And this is a chance for Australia. About 6 fellas spread out. There's an overlap here. There's a chance for Goodwin. There's one to beat. The ball had passed, but it lost the ball before that. The ball had been knocked on. Ted Goodwin sort of gave half a dummy, then gave the pass. It was a missed chance. Lockwood had hurt his hand, I believe. That went straight out. Fulton, a dummy. Australia really on pressure now and on top. Within sight of the try line. 2 yards out. Bobby Fulton. Australia won 11 the score before half-time. Using the big fellows. Bob O'Reilly in this case. See the white try line on the left. Spreading out. Maybe in underneath. Dead short. That's another white line. It's a soccer one, is that, I think. Ken Madison having a very good game. Oh, and a penalty under the post. Penalty under the post against George Nichols, but not letting him get up to play. the ball. So that's George Nichols depressed, disgusted, and explaining it away, but it's a 2 points. Well, we'll take this from behind the post, from the Spion Cop, as one could call it. To go, 2 points. Graham Langlands, Chang Langlands. After a lot of pressure, they get just reward with a goal. Great Britain 3, Australia 2. Graham Langlands. Who's helping who? Who's tackling who? This thing we talked about, David Watkins was talking about, these burly big Australian forwards. They use all the weight in the hope of eventually wearing down the opposition. Ken Madison having a belting game with fellow Madison. Great Britain don't seem to have had much of the ball this last 10 minutes. Coming from the scrum, a nice short one. And penalty for obstruction. Topless and Nash in at that against Tommy Rhodonicus. So Langlands had a chance of kicking Australia into the lead. And he's got 10 minutes to half-time. This is the 4th penalty, but unless it's just something miraculous, it's no goal. And it is no goal. Paul Charlton not going to be allowed to run very far. The score remained Great Britain 3, Australia 2. Ray Batten, John Atkinson hadn't had a chance, number 5 on the left wing to have a real run. Terry Clausen and Brian Lockwood are playing together a bit, and there they are, doing it in reverse this time. Stevie Nash. He's only a little fella, but he really goes. Arthur Beach nearly wrapped him up and posted him to Featherstone, but he still goes, does this lad. There's a chance of Topless. Topless is running clear, he's still running. And Sullivan missed it, lost offside, all sorts of things. What a chance there. Great Britain just before the interval, wasting precious positions as Brian Lockwood goes near. The first attack for a long time by Great Britain. And a turn inside using Big Phil Lowe. Sid Hines. 10 yards out from the Australian line. Australian defending. Batten. George Nichols. The British crowd cheering this one. It's all right, it's come off, but Atkinson sometimes could miss those. But he can't straighten up. Lost about 20 yards together. And here goes Paul Charlton, taken by Jeff Starling, although he slipped as he was going down. Going to have a drop, and it goes, and it's a goal, but it's 1 point. And there he is, Steve Nash gets 1 point for it, 4 points to 2. Well, let's have a look at that again. I think possibly they decided they'd done enough to and fro coming up on the 6th tackle, and it just streamed over. Well, they certainly got an enthusiastic crowd around, getting near to half-time. What that chance that Topless and Sullivan might have been, ended with the 1-pointer. Terry Clausen. George Nichols. 40 minutes gone, so we're in injury time. Brian Lockwood has been a little bit of injury. Time taken. Stevie Nash gets it inside to Big Phil Lowe, drops it, and Topless had been obstructed, but that's by the by. The referee didn't see it, so it doesn't count. Tim Picker turning inside to Bobby Fulton. Before half-time, there's a forward pass. Forward pass. Goodwin and Fulton, or Fulton and Goodwin, whichever way you want to take it. There's Arthur Beetson, just popping his head down. Bob O'Reilly on this side. We're in injury time, and we're on the halfway line. And the score is 4 points to Great Britain. 1 try, 1 goal. Charlton. Ray Batten. Play on. Still low. Still low, and there goes the hooter for half-time. And he's going to go down, so the ball is dead. And so the score is 4 points to 2. But it's Great Britain on the right, white jerseys, and Australia on the left. 4 points to 2 in this first test here at Wembley. The next 2 tests will be at Leeds and Warrington, but he signs to kick off in what's going to be a cracking 40 minutes, I reckon. Going to be hard, and possibly 1 or 2 amazing breaks we shall see. Australia in possession. Arthur Beetson. The 3 trying to take him, not very successfully as he gets the ball away and to play the ball. Good run by Picker. Oh, well supported, but a knock on. Nothing wrong with Bob McCarthy. There's some doubt about his fitness, but he seems to be all right. And they've got their tabs on their stockings, all in the Leeds United idea. So that's the Great Britain front 3. I can't get in, says Colin Clark. And I don't think the Aussies will bother about that either. Steve Nash to feed. Come on, get up, said Billy Thompson. Dave Topless still looking for that opening. Goes Nichols. Born witness, of course, left there. Brian Lockwood, Stevie Nash, he did a Lewis Jones, kicking a push forward then. Cameron Rodonicus is taking Nashi whenever he can. Oh, well taken by Topless. It was a high one. Brian Lockwood. Oh, well taken to Phil Lowe. Still going, Phil Lowe, still going. This is the danger man. 6th tackle coming up. Paul Say did well to get back along with Ken Madison. The 6th tackle coming up. Oh, Colin Clark might be in. He's in for a try, Colin Clark. Well, let's have a look at that again, because it was the 6th tackle coming up, and they really moved out. Phil Lowe had created the first one, and then Colin Clark, and it didn't seem if he was big enough for this stage. He was held, but he reached out, and no doubt a try coming at this stage. Great Britain 7, Australia 2, and Clausen to kick. 7 points to 2. Takes his time. Important goal kick. It's a goal! 9 points to 2. So, Chang Langlands now. Probably his last appearance ever at Wembley. No doubt wondering what the future holds in this match. But he's going to know, and you're going to know. We're all going to know. Unless something unexpectedly happened. 9 points to 2. Must give a lot of heart to Great Britain, this. Topless. 5 minutes gone, second half. Anything we said on Sports Night has now been fulfilled. Clive Sullivan doesn't seem terribly happy somehow. And Sullivan Bunching. Oh, not a good kick by Hines. A good tackle. Langland's getting a bit edgy. Madison, real strong up front runner. This is the man who could possibly save things for Australia. This is another one of them for a save. Riley going across Fulton, doesn't seem to have any trouble. Well taken, Colin Clark. Doesn't seem to be much wrong with Fulton. Well taken and well given pass by Beetson to Tim Pickup. Australia putting on pressure. Not a knock on, it hit his foot. It's the sixth tackle though. Well, that was a torrid time, as they say, being had by Great Britain. And there Bob O'Reilly. And number 6, Arthur Beetson, coming in from behind to take the prop side position. Got it round, get it inside. Down this fella coming in, running into trouble, but he's run out of it. Showing the ball, Clive Sullivan, can Sullivan run? Well, he didn't get any chance, in Sullivan, with Fulton and Langland's really taking him to pieces. Well, there's the Prime Minister. I hope he's enjoying it. Clark, Clawson, Nash, sorry. Really going, this big fellow. And the crowd really love this. As soon as he gets the ball, they're expecting things. Britain on the attack. Inside. Oh, it's a try! Oh, beautiful try. Beautiful try, Lockwood. Oh, top place, Lockwood. And what happened then? Lockwood. Well, it's 3 points and he'll be up. Have a look who he's going to have a word with, if anybody. Whilst the referee talking, let's have a look at that again. Off he goes. Colin Clark did a good job. Terry Clawson. And then inside. And a real tackle then, but went round near behind, as far as he could behind the post, did Brian Lockwood. And this was the moment. He put the ball down. 12 points to 2. 2 points if he kicks it. Taking all the time in the world. Knows he has it. It's the go! David Watkins. Good try, that.
An excellent try.
Well, that's 14 points to Great Britain, 2 to Australia. Young Dave Topless, at this point of time, will remember this with a vengeance. And it's even giving Clive Sullivan a bit of confidence, I believe. The way he ran there, the best bit, showing how determined he was there. Well respected by the players. Clive Sullivan as the captain. Steve Nash. Going to be hard in this last spell, as if it hadn't been already. Terry Clawson. Batten sprays the ball well. So does Lockwood. The referee on the job. Nichols pulling the ball away. It's a penalty for Australia. With 15 minutes gone, 14 points to 2, but a lot of time yet for anything to happen in this test match. A I've been to Australia many times and enjoyed wonderful hospitality there, but when it comes to test matches, the Australians will and never give in at all, and they won't in this case, I'm quite sure. It was at their request that they played at Wembley. They've got fond affections of winning in London. Bob O'Reilly, number 8. Rodonicus moving the ball about on Fulton, got out of 3 tackles. It's amazing where he gets out of them. George Nichols measured up to him then, and it took him always time to stop him. Good footballer, Fulton. McCarthy. O'Reilly. Pick up. Great Britain's tackling is very good at this moment. They're put up with a lot of pressure. They're going to be under pressure for the next 10 minutes. Got the ball in. This is a chance. Must be a try. Must be a try. Must be a try. Good try to Ray Brannigan. It was all set up, was that. It had been a lot of pressure before the opening was made, and 1 or 2 players, particularly Beetson, did a very good job. O'Reilly, and see how they got the ball back in again from Arthur Beetson. 3 of them were on him, and then it came away to this right wing, and there was the overlap when Starling shoved it out to Ray Brannigan, and Brannigan put it down to some tune, 14 points to 5. Well, this will give the Aussies a lot of encouragement, and so will that goal. The good goal, very good goal. I just was watching Alf Richards on from there. The goal was kicked, making it 14 points to 7. So this has opened up the game with a vengeance. Got a cut eye. Bob McCarthy. Alf Richards came on, so that's put a lot of heart into the Australians, no doubt. Some points only now, and it's a penalty for the ball now having gone 10 yards. Sid Hines not making it go 10 yards means that it's a penalty on the halfway line. 9 penalties for Australia to 4 for Great Britain. What's he going to do? He's going to plate. He knows that his forward are coming back again with strength as Langland Beetson. O'Reilly. The Australians now moving the ball about. They're not dying with the ball as they were earlier on. They're giving it air, and that's the time when they're dangerous. All this constant tackling by Britain will surely take its toll eventually. Bob McCarthy. 14 points to 7 in this first test. Rodonicus. The big Artie Beetson. The smallest from Rodonicus, Paul Safe. The 5th tackle, 1 more before the scrum. Oh, and up and under, and it's an awkward one, a troublesome one. Oh, and it's a try! Oh, what a great try by Fulton. He took the ball away, which looked safe inside, and took the ball out of him and scored. This magnificent footballer Fulton. Let's have a look at this. From this up and under. It was quite safe with all taken out. 14-10, should be a goal. 14-12, only 2 points in it. Well, David Watkins, what about this change?
Well, what a turnaround of events. Australia forced to move the ball about. They did it with some success. And then a bad kick-off led to a speculative up and under, which was taken out of Hines' hands and, of course, turned into 5 more points.
Thank you, David. And you see on the clock, halfway through the second half, 14 points to 12. What a test match this is. Made sure that it's gone the distance this time. Probably gone too far, but leave better that than giving it away. And the Kangaroos really on the gallop now. Great Britain in a bit of trouble. After looking so strong and convincing, leading 14 points to 2, having to do an awful lot of tackling. And a penalty against Great Britain for Australia. Referee explaining why he gave it. Well taken, Paul Charlton. Well, he made about 25 yards there, did Paul Charlton. Well, he was taken by pickup, Lockwood. Clausen. Nichols. Oh, knock on. Waiting to see if advantage is going to be played by the Australians. It will be. He did knock on, and the referee knows that. But a good tackle. Steve Nash dropped the ball, but made a good tackle. But Australia in possession. And that 10 points in 4 minutes for Australia has put a real different complexion on this match. Oh, interception! And the crowd really loving this, Brian Lockwood. But at a cup final crowd. Dave Topliss, the man who could save Great Britain. They're leading by the moment by 2 points only, 14 points to 12. He's looking to see what happened to him. Or who did it rather. Nichols. This is the sort of position that Great Britain are better in somehow. They seem to have the know-how. Throwing the ball, turning inside. To Phil Lowe, who had not been able to get in his stride. I think the injury just before half-time seems to have probably affected him a little bit. By Sullivan. Clive Sullivan in for a try. Wow, what a try! Oh no, it's a forward pass. The forward pass. Well. Forward pass. Let's have a look at that. When we all thought it. Well, I don't. Well. Now that'll be argued about for a long while. We're back in business. Charlton. Oh, it must be a penalty. A striking. Only Radonica, scrum half of all people. Against his opposite scrum half. The Australian crowd, a section of the crowd, giving him a bit of a berth to take in the time. Well, the Australians from Earl Court and Sydney and North West are making their noise. Here to go. David Watkins, you were in line with that pass. What did you feel about it to Sullivan?
I didn't think it was forward at all, because in actual fact Clive Sullivan leaned back to take the pass and then run through a startled defence to score. From where I am, it most certainly looked an exceptionally good try. But alas, it wasn't to be.
Well, actually, David is virtually in a straight line with that pass. However, it wasn't a try, it's 16 points to 12. But at least it's exciting. And there's Sullivan now regaining his confidence. And will be inspiring his men with Clive Sullivan. He's a good inspirational captain. He sticks around the base of things. He doesn't do a normal wing play. They would say in soccer a sweeper upper. Lockwood. Steve Nash. Amazing how both teams have had moments of ascendancy. Low. Oh, he got his pass in nicely. Ooh, what a tackle. Paul Charlton. Scrum down. Tommy Radonicus didn't half lift him up and bolt him down. Paul Charlton is staying down, and that's not like Paul Charlton, so he must be injured. He's a brave fullback is Charlton. Oh, so back in business. Great Britain 16, Australia 12, and still wide open this result at the end of the afternoon. And everybody certainly had the money's worth. I'm sure you have it at home. John Langlands, don't forget it's only a try and a goal, and the Australians will be in front. Well taken, Sullivan, and in touch. Sullivan now back in his Great Britain captaincy form of the World Cup. A little bit of the November gloom coming over the stadium, but certainly not on the field of play. Getting the ball now from the scrum, and Langland making the extra man. There's an overlap, there could be danger here. Langland still going on his own, he's made 30 yards. 16 points to 12. The next score could be the decider. There's a one man to face three. Bob O'Reilly stuck, but Australia on the attack and looking strong. Going in for a try, post. Oh, not a try. No try. Forward pass. Went forward, but it looked as if it was over, did Paul say it, and then went forward, but the Australians and me getting the scrums, and 10 minutes to go. 16-12. Can Great Britain hold out? Has been losing the scrums in this last. Actually, it's equal, but in the last two have gone. Oh, what a test match this has turned out to be. What a thriller the next two are going to be, whoever wins. Nash, this is another brave footballer, prepared to go into the big uns and not flinch. Referee call in hold, I can hear him up here in the pigeon loft. I'll let him play the ball. Lawson. Yardage is important, 6 tackle. Halfway line. If for our Australian viewers, if you see the circle in the field, that was for a recent soccer match. Oh, that went very quickly in and out. Well taken to Seston. Paul Sate. Bob O'Reilly, the bear. We've got the ball again. And a penalty offside. When he plays the drumsticks like that is to indicate offside. Going to take the tap. Not going to bother to take the kick for touch and risk losing possession. Oh, good run by Clausen. And I noticed Clive Sullivan now very much in picture. He was following them through. Oh, this is a chance for Phil Lowe. Phil Lowe's going to score. It's a try. Well, this young dead topless, it's the day of his life. That's the scorer, but they're hugging Dave Topless, are the players at the moment. But let's see how it happened. You see that this is the one, and he turned there. How was him? And then he turned, and the big long-legged Lowe who Manly Warringer wanted to pay £25,000 for, but he prefers living in Hull. 19 points to 12. Great Britain 19, Australia 12. And the lights are coming on. And it kicks it, and it's a goal! When 21 points to 12, and the 5 minutes to go, plus injury time, as Great Britain 21, and a reverse situation, Australia 12. 21-12. Clive Sullivan, who's been an inspirational captain in the last 20 minutes. So the lights go on at Wembley as Great Britain in this first Rugby League test against the Kangaroos, leading by 21 points to 12. Still time, 2 tries and 2 goals could change the situation very quickly. Let go of my leg. Clausen, I don't know if he's going to run. It's a good one by Terry Clausen. This experienced footballer who's been around quite a lot. I'm sure he didn't think he'd be selected when he was sold this year. And here he is, taking part, and a very creditable part too, in this Great Britain match. And at the moment, 21 points to 12 looks good, but you could never tell in rugby league football, with 3 points for a try and 2 points for a goal. 2 quick tries and 2 quick goals, and the situation would be different. The Australia penalty. A trouble in the scrum. Well, not trouble, offence, I should say. Infringement. Langland to kick. Feed up. Bit delayed in telling us. Well, the Australians on the halfway line. Just a little bit quiet at the moment. Wondering whether time's going to run out for them. And Owen Walters had to go seek his own football. Paul Charlton said, "You kick this, fetch it." Halfway line on the right, 10 yards, play on. Well, this Fulton almost got a break then. Oh, good, a good run going down the blind side there by Bob McCarthy, in touch. And the Dutch and the Americans and the French are, I believe, taking this match. And this is Wembley, wonderful sight of Wembley with the lights on. And what a momentous occasion this is for both teams and for rugby league. Scrums were level until that, and Great Britain in front now with 1. And there's Sullivan taking a sort of a 3-quarter back position, if there's such a title. No, there is, but not the position he's taking it. 3/4 of the way through this match, it looked as if the Australians were going to snatch it out of the fire. And now Great Britain have gone up in the lead, 21 points to 12. And 2 minutes plus injury time. It's nothing to do with us or the referee. There's an overlap. There's a chance now for Charlton. He's kicked across. There's 3 Great Britain players to 2 to knock on, but it's advantage to Australia. And well taken by Ted Goodwin. Bobby Fulton. Ken Madison. Ken Madison's done an awful lot of good work in the forward. Pulling up. There. Oh, Langland's came in good there. And just a good tackle by Jordan Nichols. That's a real try saving a tackle. John Atkinson. It's no good. You can come back. The whistle's gone. The meeting round below here. Everybody's mystified. Eric Lawson's having a word with the referee. Not quite sure what's going on. Steve Nash. You got the ball out. Great battle. Knock on. Ball still loose. He can't. Well, the crowd are going at him, the referee, but the referee's right there. He had to allow Australia to have advantage, and they didn't take it, even though there were a couple of infringements after. 40 minutes have gone. We're in injury time. Colin Clark now taking the lead in the scrums, 10-8, but he won't get one for that. And they're pushing, well, little Dave Topless just picked the ball up and they pushed him off it. Naturally, they won the ball to the Australians, understandably so. They've got a penalty. Penalties: 12 to Australia, 6 to Great Britain. And Langland's coming up. Is that the hooter? Well, somebody's jumping up. The Australians think it is. There's some doubt whether it is. The Australians and the subs are blamed, but of course the kick's going to be taken. Going for an up and under, and this is this. It's too far, and it's well over the line. And there it is, the hooter, and the Great Britain win this match by 21 points to 12. And as the players shake hands and spectators, come on, let's have a word with David Watkins for a summary. David.
Well, a great advocate for the game of rugby league football. This has done a power of good. A wonderful game of football, hard tackling, straight running, some wonderful tries scored here this afternoon. Great Britain, including myself, were heavily criticised because we didn't think perhaps the pack could stand up to it. But most certainly this front row of ours played exceptionally hard, with perhaps, if we could mention one or two individuals, and that is George Nichols for his wonderful all-round performance, Topless, who fitted into this side as if he'd been playing international football all his life. All in all, a wonderful game of football and a good win to Great Britain.
Well, there it is. That's the summary. There's the situation. And finally, the score. Great Britain 21, Australia 12. I do hope you enjoyed it. From Wembley, me, goodbye.